What's up, traders? A bunch of trades today. As you can see, we're actually still in one, so let's get to it. All right, traders, so I'm only going to show you the live trades on 3 of these trades that I took today. The first one here on UPWK, the one on JKS, and the one on XPEV. The other ones here on UPWK weren't really worth watching live. They're a little bit slower, and I can just explain those in the recap. So with that said, here's the live trades. UPWK here through 27.50. It's rejecting here. We're going to get started. 27.42 UPWK. Put the cover out there. Right around that previous high from yesterday's aftermarket. Let's check out JKS right off the scanner here. Oh, a nice big pop. Let's see if we can get up towards that 64 area. This is SSR. We're going to try to get started here. 62.73. Okay, we got it. UPWK looking like a pullback here. Nice. Let's see if we can get down through 27. There we go, down through 27. JKS also working. UPWK tried to go through 27, came back down through. Or went back up through, sorry. Now it's coming back down again. Nice. Here we go. Order sitting at 26.42. See if we can get this push down through 27. Does not quite want to. This might be our fault. Might have started this a little too small, but it looked like it could have some pretty decent range to it. It's kind of iffy there. Probably should have took the smaller winner there and been happy with it. That was about 50% of that move. Coming back up to high of day, at high of day, and through. This line here on JKS. It's kind of what we're attempting to risk off of daily as well. All right, UPWK tried to go higher, got rejected as of right now. See what it does here. Ooh, jumpy. Look at this thing. Right up to 28 and through. JKS coming up here to that line from the previous highs. Just watching UPWK here. We're going to get our add UPWK, risk high of day. See if that wants to be the top. That was a pretty good squeeze. Take rid of this, put the new one in, 27.06. So not too bad. JKS, I'm going to be looking to do the same thing here, seeing what it wants to do at this level. This is that after hour, oh, and UPWK, just noticed we got stopped out of that. A little frustrating there. It's starting to try to come down. We had a pretty interesting spot there anyway on that one. SSR is going to kind of mess with us here on JKS. So I'm trying to see what it does right here. Wish this would have been our first entry. Should have been a little bit more patient with this one. I was kind of hoping it came down through 63.50, which it did, and then we were going to see if it held there and then try to get an add on the other side of it. Struggling here though. More so looking for the backside. Alright, right through 64. Look, UPWK, this thing is nuts. You can see JKS back up on the scanner as well. I'm going to look to restart UPWK here. This thing actually could halt right there at 30, right over 30. Oh. Tried to start it. Missed the entry there. Might actually be a little bit more patient with this one. I was expecting a big rubber band back down through 29 there, and we did not get it. That's not a good sign. It's probably going to go higher. JKS, we're finally coming back down. Got a nice little high through that level. We're going to try to get short again. Actually, that's probably not going to get filled at 64, huh? Oh, we did get filled. Okay. So we got our ad there at 64. So we can get ahead and risk off high of day here. Put the cover in for 10 bucks. I keep messing these orders up. A little all over the place this morning. I'm still tired. It is struggling here. I cannot. Okay, we got filled. I cannot get my orders right today. A little slow. XBEV, we were just trying to feel the top there. Here we go with JKS. Order sitting there right below 63, 62.86. Really not asking for too much of a pullback, right? It's about 50%. So that would be a nice little trade there if we can get there. 63.20. It's a pretty solid pullback here, though, in one candle. So it might be a little harder to get there. Put the stop in now at high day. I'm risking there anyway. XBEV attempting to work. Our take profits are right above that previous resistance, which is nice. I like that. JKS trying. It's struggling at this 63.30 area. Here we go, 63.20. It's a pretty big push down. Nice. 63. Ooh. Just really looking for this to pop through 63. Give us our fill. If we can get down there and test 63, we might get a chance. But yeah, I got a feeling this is going to pop a little bit. That was a pretty big move down. Just seemed far away. I was making sure that was my $10 cover. XBEV not looking too great right now. See if JKS can get this last little push down. Tried 63.50. If it can hold, we should get another little push down, hopefully through 63. This UPWK is just insane. I'm glad we didn't start that. We would have definitely been wrong. I said if I did say it wanted to go higher. Back through 63.50 here on JKS. If the big gets up through it, that's probably not good. Might squeeze up to high of day. Everything feels pretty strong so far today. LI off the scanner. Not really a huge fan of this one. Just feels a little slower. I was watching this a little bit earlier. Has a lot of volume and the extensions there. Just not, I don't know, just not feeling that one for some reason. Which, I mean, it's probably the one that'll end up working. XBEV tried to go high of day. Well, it did go high of day. Trying to come back down now. See if this gets rejected. We're going to get an ad, risk high of day. You kind of see this is kind of a common theme with me. Trying to let it make a top. If it makes the top, we get the ad, and then we just risk high of day. If it works, it doesn't. Or if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. JKS. This looks like it wants to attempt lower. But I got a feeling if it does try to go higher, this thing's just going to squeeze right back. This thing does have a history of squeezing pretty quickly. Was really hoping it failed that 63.50 area. All right, so I think we're on the back end here, UPWK. Might end up chasing this a little. Oh, there goes JKS. Told you. I had a feeling if it was going to go, it was going to go. Yep, and there it is. All right, so got stopped out JKS, and it's a good stop. This thing has a history of squeezing like this, so a little unfortunate there. And starting 0 for 2 today, JKS and UPWK. All right, traders, that was my trades on JKS and UPWK and XBEV. I know I didn't get the exit in there. I had it in there, but it took a little bit longer, and it really just ended up being a standard exit. I'll just go ahead and show you guys real quick. So on XBEV, it did eventually, that was the high, and it eventually just kind of came down and decided to give us the take profit. Went just a tad lower, tried to come up, did sloppy seconds, and kind of ended up going a little bit lower as well. Down here on JKS, as you can see, this ended up being a pretty good cover. This thing decided to go even higher throughout the rest of the day, and this thing has been a beast. So ended up being a grinder, and I would not want to be caught short in this one. Very old me, definitely probably would have. This reminds me of MTSI, my very first big loser, where I just kept trying to recycle shares, looking for it to drop, and then you get something like this, and you're like, yay, finally, and then it just said, yeah, no, we're going to blow you up today. So great cut here on JKS. This ended up being our big loser on the day, but I was pretty happy with it. And then what was our other trade? Oh yeah, UPWK. I want to use this chart. It's a little easier to look at. So we're actually still in UPWK, as it's looking like it might want to try to squeeze here, and we're long. So that's a good thing. We'll get to that in a second. But that first UPWK trade, you can see that was a pretty good cut. We determined, okay, we're going to get our ad here and risk high of day, and we were wrong. So we took the cut at high of day, and that ended up being a really good cut. We were dealing with XBEV and JKS at the same time as this move was happening completely. I'm not going to say I missed this because I was more so looking for the backside of this, because after we started it here and then it made this move, and if you look at the daily, it gapped up to these all-time highs, and it was a pretty big gap up. Wasn't really looking to see how far this could short squeeze. I was more so looking for a set risk type of trade, looking for the backside. So that's exactly what we did. And we chased it a little bit, but we were risking high of day this entire time. And it came down, and we actually had an order sitting. Sorry about that. UPWK. We had an order sitting right here at 28.15. It was actually 28.18, I want to say, but it was right in this area. So it came down, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a nice little chunk," and got the 28.33, and then squeezed pretty much right back up. Didn't really give us a chance to get out. I know it went right back through the $0.50. I was like, okay, let's see if it'll reject the $0.50, and then it didn't. And I told myself, you know, there's a typical little U-shaped curl, and so once I saw that, I got out, and it did end up going higher. But once I realized it failed at 29.50, I was like, okay, maybe this is the official sloppy seconds, the bouncy ball effect, right? So we ended up getting short. We were risking high of day at this point or not high of day, sorry, high of this pivot, this bounce, which was 29.65. Had my order sitting there at 29.66. It tried to bounce up a little bit more, got rejected again, so we actually added to it, and then we scaled out. I was a little mad at myself for taking not the first one, but the second one, because I told myself I was going to hold looking for the complete fade on this one, and I just completely, just for some reason, didn't do it. I saw this previous resistance here. It started the struggle there. You can see there's a green candle here, so I thought maybe this was going to try to form some clear support here, right? Previous resistance, previous support, and I thought I was going to try to use it again, especially with just how strong this proved to be. Was a little wrong. It did come down a little bit lower, and ultimately, I was just sitting. I just had it up on one of my extra charts, and I just saw it forming this really nice support line here, and it started to form higher lows, and I just saw that little curl starting to happen, and we all know that it can make these types of moves here where it tries to squeeze. So I said, hey, let's just take a trade, and we'll risk right under there, right? So we put our stop in. It was a very small risk, and I was like, why not, right? I was kind of bored. Still, I was basically break even on the day after this trade. I was still red, but basically break even. And I said, let's give it a try. And so I did, and we took half of it out when we got that squeeze right here to VWAP, and we put a dollar trail on the rest, and 27.95. That means this one must have made it to 28.95, and yeah, we're just trailing this with a dollar stop. Our average is down there at 27.65. So I was really looking for this to hopefully go back towards high of day and just be one of them crazy afternoon squeezes. but we'll see if it wants to give it to us. And so far, we're still right underneath that main support line that it formed here. It was also that previous resistance, so hopefully that'll hold and possibly give us a nice little squeeze on the rest of these shares and give us a decent green day. But the way it's looking right now, even if we do get stopped out, we'll be like right at break even. So can't really complain too much about that. But that's all I got for you today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Always appreciate that support. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you want to, just spice things up on the channel a little bit, make sure you let me know down below. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.